Good morning. Welcome to Morning Moments. I am so glad that you came to join us today. I have a award-winning actor, producer, director, filmmaker, and I think there's a few other slashes in between that. He lives in the same state I do. I live in. He lives in Virginia, and I am so glad to bring Cameron Ring to Morning Moments. Welcome, Cameron.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. This is awesome what you do.
Well, thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell me, what do you do and why do you do it?
What do I do? Like you said, there are a lot of slashes in there, but um, what do I do? First thing you mentioned, I'm a filmmaker. Um, the I just want something, always wanted something more. I feel like Hollywood isn't giving the best product out there. It's not obviously it's not spiritual, but it's just not good stories. It's all sequels at its best. It's just sequels and Marvel movies. So that was never my intention, though. My calling, it appears to be, and I never knew this until I started listening. We were talking about earlier, listening in the silence. Mother Teresa has a great quote about God is found in the silence, and I found that my passion and my calling is horses. And my award-winning film was about a horse that my family rescued. And over 2020, I really reconnected with her and all the horses at the barn. And I found a deep love for that animal. And the film that I did was called Awesome Gal, based on her story. She's a rescue horse. And from there, I fell in love with horses. And one of the things I did do over 2020 was go travel to see Utah and see the wild Mustangs there. And it was one of the most incredible experiences because you are out in God's creation. That's about as close as just raw nature as you're ever going to get. And you're seeing these amazing animals out there with the only thing you hear is the rustling of the wind in the grass. You see these incredible horses. I have some amazing pictures. And after seeing that and having this moment, I came to my attention that those horses are actually in danger. They're in danger from our own government. The government is rounding them up off the land. They will round them up with helicopters, which are traumatizing, and run them for miles. The Kentucky Derby is just over a mile. They'll run them for several miles. So it's several Kentucky Derby lengths, and actually several horses are routinely dying on these roundups. They'll go into a small holding facility where they'll break their legs trying to escape. Many do, and then they go to a lifetime of captivity, all to the tune of about $2 billion taxpayer dollars. So as a veteran who, I joined because I saw the Twin Towers fall, and I signed up to preserve our heritage. I didn't sign up to watch our own government destroy it. So me and just a few others, maybe 2 or 3 other people who served, started a group called Veterans for Mustangs, where we decided we wanted to advocate for the Mustangs as veterans. And originally, we didn't know what we were doing. We felt that we were veterans and we had a right to voice our opinion. We didn't need anything beyond that. But we now have a plan where we're actively pursuing Congress. And what we're trying to do is pass a bill that will end those roundups and replace them with teams of veterans who manage the land. Because we feel that we've sacrificed the most for this land. We should be the ones defending it. And it would be an incredible healing opportunity. Talk about healing for transition for veterans who come back. I never saw combat, but a couple of people who in Veterans for Mustangs have. And the ability to come back and save lives using the same skills you used in war has a really unspeakable healing potential. It's hard to describe what that can do, but you come back, veterans now have a purpose. They're out in the midst of that country, the most majestic beauty of this country we defended. using the skills to preserve our symbol of freedom. And that's our goal. That's the plan. We've had some traction in Congress. We're just trying to get the word out there and hope that we can end these roundups and have an opportunity to preserve the heritage so it's not destroyed.
Is it safe to say that sometimes you reach out to save the horses and the horses ends up saving you?
Oh, absolutely. Like Awesome Gal, the horse that we have, she's technically a rescue horse, but it's not true. She rescued me. So she's like my rescue horse because she rescued me is how I say it.
Uh-huh.
So, but
there,
they're incredible animals.
there's such a healing power. We've had some guests on Morning Moments before that has horses, and there's one that I was sharing with you that works with horses in the Nashville area with veterans, and such a wonderful approach to calmness, dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, being around those horses. And there's something that really brings some inner healing just being around them and just be working with them.
Yes. No, it's amazing. So in 2020, I was able to escape LA, got the last flight before it shut down, and I went back to Virginia, where my parents have the farm in Awesome Gal. And having the only reason I had the opportunity to have this much time with her and her barn mates, but there are about 8 of them in the barn, was because of the lockdowns. And so spending time there, you really learn how to have that stillness and that calmness with these animals. So you come in their presence and there's a different energy, to the point where I can feel a difference between when I'm with horses and away from them. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity if it wasn't for me going back to Virginia and spending all day in the farms.
Sometimes you pray to God, and God doesn't always give us what we want, but he gives us what we need.
Yes.
And I've often said that I prayed to God for a bicycle, but he gave me a tricycle because it's close, because it's safer. And sometimes that happens like that.
I like that. Yeah. No, you're right. I did not want to go to Virginia and be on a farm. I wanted to stay in LA, get an agent, and be an actor. That was the plan. And I always loved horses, but not like I do now. It's like, oh yeah, like some people, oh, horses are cool, but like now it's a totally different feeling for them. And now it's a mission, a calling. And I do believe Veterans for Mustangs is a calling to save what wild horses we do have left.
So in LA, you did acting, and then when you escaped from LA,
yes,
and found your purpose, then you get awards. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That worked, right? So the short film was around that time. I did come back to Virginia to make the short film. Went to LA, went back, but it took off a little around that time, so it ran the circuit. But yeah, it was it. And that was something, like, looking back, I realized it was more I was called to push to do, really. It wasn't calling. It was more like on the spiritual level, God, that's what you need to do, go. And it did work out, but now I get it.
Good. Well, Cameron, I am so delighted to have you to be my guest today. And I'm going to put down below in the comment section how they could get a hold of you, either through Facebook or through your website. And there's veterans that's listening to this that says, hey, I want to get involved with that. There's filmmakers and actors that's listening to this and says, hey, how could I get involved in other films that you're doing with the same causes?
Yeah.
And there's people that need to hear this, this interview needs to be passed on to them. There's a reason you came on today. And there's a reason that you told your story. Everybody has a story to tell. And there are some of you are struggling maybe right now with your purpose and passion. And you're saying, I need like an awakening, like Cameron's had. This is what I'm supposed to do. If you know what, God does not want to hide his purpose from you. He would like to reveal that to you too, if you just open up. And sometimes you cannot hear it because of all the noise around you.
Yes.
And if you stop like Cameron did and just be still and know that I am God, as the scripture says, it's amazing
Yes.
the direction.
Amazing.
You know,
I know I'm blessed because it wasn't it wasn't something I said, all right, I need to stop. It was the circumstances that put me in a situation where I had to. And that's, I realize it now, that was a huge blessing, but sometimes, I don't know if I ever would have done it without that.
absolutely. Speed is not near as important as direction, because you could
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
you could go real fast, but if you're going in the wrong direction, you're
Yeah.
not helping anybody out, including
Yeah.
yourself. So sometimes we have to stop and make sure we're going in the right direction.
Yes.
And thank you so much for being my guest. And I want everyone to check his websites out and also be praying for him for the cause and purpose he's doing with Mustangs and veterans, and that God would continue to bless him and work through the politics of what's going on,
Yeah.
work with the logistics of what's going on, and to get the right people at the right place at the right time to help him. And we're praying for you, brother. And I want everybody to be praying for you as well. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for Morning Moments. And I want to encourage you to keep on coming back, and God bless you.